Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video, we're looking at another small block non-combat ship, and this one is called the G-2d Sprite Civillian class ship, which is this lovely thing over here. So this is a very sleek ship that features only atmospheric thrusters, and from the way it's been made, it looks like it'd be racing around a track at high speeds. And you could, if you really wanted to, attach some weapons onto here, because there is plenty of room for you to refit it with weapons, in case you want to do that. Pressing F10 and finding it in the spawn menu, the Sprite is 848 small blocks, using the Warfare 2, Sparks of the Future, Heavy Industry and Wasteland DLC packs. We've got a little bit of information about it on the Steam Workshop page, such as the lore behind it. So we'll just give this thing a thumbs up. We can move all around towards the very front here, we'll have a quick look around the outside, and then we'll fly around for a bit to see what it can do on this lovely modded planet. And there will be a link to the planet in the description below if you are interested in it. It's a very nice planet, it's got some fancy custom weather effects, and yes, I can just highly recommend checking it out. Anyway, for this ship itself, at the very front, this is what we get. So front and center we can see our wasteland spotlights to light up the darkness. Surrounding all of that, we've got some white and black steel blocks to make up the main body of the ship. If we were to move around onto the side, we can see some great use of our armoured panels, and there is our fighter cockpit to fly this thing around. If we were to come over to this section, this is our thruster pods, which feature only atmospheric thrusters. So at the front here, we can see a large atmospheric thruster, which has been covered up by some steel blocks. If you were to look at it on the side, that's how it's been done. It's got lovely spiky patterns coming all the way across it. And over here we've got some small atmospheric thrusters up on our left and right. Then onto this section we've got the start of some rounded blocks with some heat vents just behind some beam blocks. And all the way towards the very back, another large atmospheric thruster, some more small ones. Then at the back itself, that's what's going to push us along, so there's the other large atmospheric thruster, and there is the rear of the vehicle. So there's not too much to talk about at the back, which is come all the way up and look down on it. So we can clearly see the tops of our atmospheric thrusters, which have been covered up with some more armoured panels. There's all of our atmospheric thrusters, and we can clearly see how it's been connected up to the main body with some beam blocks, so it's very flimsy. You want to be very careful of using this in combat, because otherwise these could get easily shot off, and you'll become a submarine. Anyway, come back to looking down, there's a parachute hatch, just in case they do get shot off. Then towards the front there's our fighter cockpit, and there's the fins at the front. If we were just to drop down and come underneath, that is what we get. So we can see once again a bunch of armoured panels, but if we were to hit the camera all the way in, what we're going to see is a bunch of batteries to keep this thing powered. All the way under there, that's the bottom of our cockpit. There is some magnetic plates to help land this thing down. There's a connector in case you want to dock this thing up. There's a little gap there for some decoration. And there we go. That is a very brief look around the outside of the G-2d Sprite, and it's fantastic how it's been set up. And it is starting to get very dark here, and you can see the custom weather effects coming in the background. But for the moment, we're bringing the sun back around, and that'll do quite nicely. So yes, with the outside done, I can grab hold of my character, bring up the HUD, because these are the only controls we get. Number 7 being our parachute hatch to manually open and close it, and number 9 is for our projector block, but there's nothing currently loaded into it, so we can't do anything. So moving forwards, this is what we get. So as you can see there, we've got some lovely speed thanks to those atmospheric thrusters pushing us along. And coming to a stop, we appear to be equally as fast, which is fantastic stuff, so there's no need to do a 180 to try and stop yourself a bit quicker. Moving left, and moving right, we've got some nice speed up with that. If we were to move up, and then moving down, that's what we get, and we can stop in time, so there's no risk of slamming into the ground if you do actually move down at high speeds. And as for gyroscopic controls, this is what we get. It's got a nice bit of weight on here, so it is dragging just a little bit. It's generally what I prefer when it comes to a small ship, but you could always slap on a couple more gyroscopes if it's not up to your standards. So as we charge along to this mountainside, there's not too much else to talk about. It's a very lovely little ship. If you are looking for something small and very simple to use in your world, it can be easily refitted with weapons if you want to. There's plenty of space on here, such as under those atmospheric thrusters, under the nose. If you want to put some Gatling guns on there, if you want to put some autocannons, you get a nice little fighter ship out of this. And there we go. I believe we just lost part of the nose there. Yes, we did. And we lost a couple of batteries, but we're still perfectly fine at flying around. So yes, you can crash this at high speeds and still be perfectly fine. So there'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around for yourself. Highly recommend you do, because it is a fantastic looking ship. and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.